but I wanted to publicly and personally congratulate Ms. Carol Vogus, who is at our cabinet of the Minister Plenipotentiary in The Hague, and who attends the OCTA meetings on our behalf oftentimes in Brussels. She has been elected as the chair of the Executive Committee of OCTA for the year 2017. So congratulations to her. And the president of the OCTA for 2017 will be the Honorable Prime Minister of the Turks and Caicos Islands. So we have, coincidentally it's on Women's Day, but I guess it's one of those nice announcements to be made to show the inclusion and participation of women. One of the interesting things that I had remarked, and that's just a side note, while at the conference, it was interesting to note that the entire delegation of the Turks and Caicos Islands was not only headed by their prime minister, who was a female, but the entire delegation, I think of some 5 or 6 persons, were all females. So the OCTA president will be a lady for 2017-18, and the new OCTA president of the executive committee is none other than Carol Vogus from St. Martin. While in Aruba, we had the meeting with Minister Plasterk and his delegation, and taking part in that meeting was, besides myself, Minister Richard Gibson was also in the meeting, along with support staff, the Secretary General of the Ministry, Mr. Plantain, was also in the meeting. The discussion lasted for about an hour, and at the end of it, the conclusion and agreement was that details of the meeting would not yet be disclosed, but that it would be said on both sides of the ocean that the discussions were held and that the discussions will continue. So when those discussions will continue is not yet known, but the discussions will continue. So at this point in time, I'm sure the way some people would want to conduct their work is to still try to get something, and somebody is going to ask some question, but the agreement was that, we have agreed to continue the discussion. So if a reporter in the Netherlands has been able to contact Mr. Plasterk and get details of the meeting, then I'm sure that will appear somewhere, and if that happens, then it's a breach of the agreement, and then I too would then be at liberty to talk about the content. But we had agreed not to disclose yet what was talked about. While in Aruba also, I had another meeting with Minister Koenders. We had first a meeting of all 3 prime ministers of Curaçao, of Aruba, Curaçao, and St. Martin, along with Minister Koenders, to discuss foreign relations and foreign affairs at the kingdom level, things that were taking place, etc. And the following day, on actually the Tuesday, when I came back, the morning before I came back, we had a 3-hour-long, very healthy and positive discussion. It does not mean that we had agreed on every subject that we had talked about, but it was a very open, honest discussion. On his part, there were some things that he said, it was good that we've had the discussion because now he better understands certain things, and there were things that I needed to get off of my chest and I got him off my chest. Not that we had any fight over anything, but some of the things that we talked about was the UN security seat that the entire kingdom was on the campaign trail to try and secure that seat. As you can recall, there was a tie after some 4 or 5 rounds of balloting between Italy and the Netherlands, the Kingdom of the Netherlands, and the Kingdom made the compromise proposal, which was accepted. So for 2017, Italy would hold the seat, and 2018, the seat would go to the Kingdom.
Telcel Night of the Hitmakers. Telcel Night of the Hitmakers. 5th year anniversary. The dance floor is back. Friday, April 28th, 2017 at Carnival Village. The ultimate dance party featuring Impact Band, Kai, formerly known as Karimi, Jean-Marc Ferdinand, Claudius Phillips, Farmer Nappy, and the Queen of Bacchanal, Destra. See you at the 5th year anniversary of Telcel Night of the Hitmakers. Partners, Telcel. This is an extra tight entertainment production. Just say I.
Need a loan that's quick and easy. Island Finance. Up to 50,000 guilders real easy. Island Finance. For education, a renovation. That's no problem.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Life is a journey full of connections. You're in safe hands even when life starts too soon. You don't have to miss a single beat. When a bad hair day makes you sad, just sharing can bring you joy and more to come. They take the plunge, turn fear into faith, while you capture those beautiful moments. In the game of life, it's family that counts. They'll be there even when you lose. We all have our moments of reflection and hope. And when you feel you're losing everything in life, we're there because there's more to come. When life starts too soon, you don't have to miss a single beat. We're here to connect you and share life. Telcel, when you want more.
Well, on that day, we'll be having various stakeholders from healthcare facilities, insurances, showing the public what their facility is all about, their foundations is all about, and giving information to the general public. It's all free of charge to everybody. So you have different stakeholders like the AIDS Foundation, the Diabetes Foundation, you have SXM, you have Alpha Healthcare Services, and all of those different persons within the community, within the island who deals with medical or some form of wellness, you know, making sure that you're healthy and knowledgeable of everything pertaining to yourself, will be there at the health fair and giving demonstrations and information and answering your questions.
Well, it has been growing over the years. That is a happy thought, because I know for Lions it takes an awful lot of work to put this together, and it's important that people realize that there are people who are looking after their health interests, so that they must make sure they are making use of it. Diabetes Foundation will do what it always does. It does glucose testing, it does blood pressure measuring, cholesterol testing. We are happy to say that we also make available an HbA1c test. This is a test that gives the glucose levels for the past 3 months and is absolutely necessary for one's further treatment of diabetes. We provide this for people with high glucose levels because you cannot provide it for everybody who comes to test. Only people who have high glucose levels and definitely need this. Then we are most happy to say that we have again been able to get a podiatrist willing to come from Curaçao. Podiatrist is a person who specializes in foot care, and she will be here to provide free foot inspections. Debbie already mentioned the importance of taking care of your feet. This lady is a podiatrist, comes from Curaçao, and does exactly that. Make sure that you make use of that. This is for everybody. But best of all, actually, are you, the visitors, because it is through your participation, your input, your healthcare concerns, your test results, that these will be presented to government. And by doing this, we might motivate government to take steps to improve, increase, provide better health care for you, the people. So make sure that you use this movement, this Lions movement, to better your health care.
Okay, since she has been doing that for 9 years, did you get any response from people that really did a benefit for them?
Oh yes, because they get services that they otherwise don't get, like a podiatrist, for instance, like an HbA1c test. This is a test that is normally done in the doctor's office or at the lab, but it's now possible to have it done outside this environment. And especially people who cannot afford such a test, people who are uninsured, will make use of these possibilities and be happy with it.
You say that you take it to the government to do. Why you do that?
There's always room for improvement. So every time we make an extensive report on our test results, and it is especially the conclusions of the test results that we point out to government. There they can see how diabetes is not decreasing but increasing, but that is all over the world. It's not a strange thing, but steps will have to be taken. Next year, January, we will be existing 20 years, and for 20 years we have been daydreaming of a all-around diabetes center, a multi-service diabetes center. And by bringing them test results, they can see black on white what lives among people with diabetes, what their anxiety is, what is happening to them, what services are available or not available. And that way we hope that government, or we trust that government will be able to improve on those situations.
Do you like what the Lions is doing this health thing?
Absolutely. It is not just a matter of liking, it is almost a matter of necessity, and that is why we stress to people, make sure you use this opportunity to make yourself, to familiarize yourself with what is living in healthcare in your community. You are part of this community and you have to work for it by coming and by looking what is going on and what is being offered to you. And like Debbie said, all of it free of charge. Doesn't cost you a penny. It costs you your time and your interest.
People all across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIB MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as MyCard. Earn 1 Fun Mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of Fun Miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to MyCard. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free Fun Miles with first use. Switch to MyCard today at WIB.
Fun miles, from within your reach.
The receiver of taxes is closed, as well as the census office, because of a smell was detected this morning in the building. Has not been discovered yet where that smell is coming from, what's the source of the smell, or it's the nature of the smell, whether it's sewage, whether it is electrical, or another base for this problem. The fire departments came, aired out the building, and hopefully by lunchtime, that is the plan, the receiver of taxes as well as census office will be again opening the doors. We've been experiencing, because at the same time, we had a breach in terms of an attack, a virus attack, again. It just goes to prove how vulnerable our system is. Basically, our IT system is being held together with hanger wires and tape, and it confirms what I've been saying for quite some time, that the entire IT system of government needs a complete overhaul. Not only the tax department itself, but in general. I've been pleading and working, and I'm beginning to see some light at the end of the tunnel in terms of getting something done to fundamentally fix this problem. I've spoken to CFT as well as to members of the Kingdom government to facilitate borrowings so that this problem could be eliminated. Besides that, from the budget that I have, steps will be taken also to start improving several areas in the system. It's unfortunate that in this day and age, we're at a point that we're still struggling with these kinds of issues, and while other countries are way ahead of us as far as new IT systems are concerned. It no longer can be delayed, And in the 2017 budget, provisions have been made to be able, as far as capital expenditures are concerned, to spend approximately 6 million guilders this year on fixing the tax department. At the same time, we're busy with tax reform. And for the last couple of months, we've been talking to various experts in the field. And again, as far as that is concerned, I'm seeing light at the end of the tunnel, that the solutions to get this done also seem to be in range. I'm also pleased to report that on March the 2nd, a letter was received from the CFT, a letter which the CFT sent to the Kingdom government, reporting on the status of the various areas that was the subject of the instruction issued to the government in 2015. There were 4 items in that instruction that was issued at a time by the Kingdom government to the government of St. Martin in 2015. One of those items required a demand that we compensate for the deficits that were built up in the past. So annually, budgets were being prepared, not met, and from that, deficits were created, and those deficits just keep piling up, to the point where the Kingdom government no longer found that that was a responsible way to proceed, and then it demanded an instruction that we have to compensate for those deficits. The second item on the 4 items in the instruction regarded that all health and pension premiums had to become part of the budget of the country. So in the revenues that you project that you're receiving, you had to also include, next to that, the expenditures you had for health care as well as pension premiums. The third item on the instruction given to the government in 2015 was that they had to resolve all of the back payments that existed at the time. They had to resolve the delinquent accounts that were open where creditors were not being paid. And finally, the fourth item on the instruction was that we had to take measures to make health and pension pension systems financially viable. Well, I'm pleased to report that the CFT has reported to the Kingdom government that as far as the instruction issued to the government in 2015, that today, since March 2nd in their report, that St. Martin has substantially complied with all of the instructions.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Hi, my name is Jocelyn Curio, and I am with the Movement for Justice and Prosperity. I'm number 10 on the list. I can't even begin to describe how honored I am to be on this team. We are such a tight-knit family, and we have such a cohesive vision for where we want this country to go. The feedback we're getting on the road is incredible. Everyone that we're talking to believes in our vision and believes it's possible when we get voted into government. For me, the things that are particularly important is giving our children a chance to dream again. I know so many young people who, because their families can't help them further their education after they get done by the lycée, it's like they just fall into despair. And part of our platform is to bring the option for them to be able to take courses and to have a university that's accredited where they can get degrees right here in St. Martin. And that right there is a game changer. That is going to be a game changer for so many children, so many families who just don't have the money to send their kids to France and Guadeloupe. That should not be the only option to further your education. It's just not financially possible. In addition to that, our School of Second Chance, that's huge. We have so many kids that have fallen by the wayside for whatever reason, maybe when they were younger, whether they had kids, whether they got involved in gangs. They might have fallen out of school and now they're older and they don't have any degree, any paper. So we're going to create an alternative school. They don't have to go back to school with the younger kids. We're going to have an alternative setting where they can go and get their diplomas, and then from there they can go on to specific training programs whether it's computers, whether it's electrical or plumbing or whatever their interest is. We want to create a comprehensive training program so that they have actual certifications in the different areas. And then once they get done with that, we actually are going to help them start their own companies, start their own businesses, and have a whole support system designed around helping them, because people may have skills, people may have ideas, but then to start a business, that's a whole other mountain that they have to climb. So we want to be there to help them climb up that mountain, because in essence, St. Martin was built on entrepreneurial spirit. My grandparents who are from Grand Cause, when they were young and they were poor, there was no CAF to take care of them. CAF was not a career, and CAF has now become a career. When you have 60% of the country taking government assistance and only 40%, probably less than 40%, paying for all of that, that's not a sustainable model. I mean, I'm not an expert mathematician, but that's going to collapse in and of itself. So what we need to do is, while the CAF is there designed to help young mothers when their children are small, it shouldn't be a lifetime thing. We need to get these women trained. We need to teach them and empower them that they have other options, whatever their interests lie. Every child has a gift, and what our job is to find out what that gift is and to nurture it.